Hey, before the video starts, I just want to tell you to check out episode 2 of High School by Happy Punch Films because I make a special appearance in the video and I think you would enjoy it. Go show that channel some love and tell them Awp sent you. Ooh, what is going on, guys? Awp here. We are here again at Tekken Community Podcast with new cast members. So you guys can go ahead and introduce yourselves as you like.
Alright, well, hello everyone. I'm Tekken Yuna, also known as Forsaken Yuna on PSN. A lot of people may know me. I've been in the community for a while. I'm the kind of guy that likes to help people out and stuff, so yeah, it's about me.
Alright, what's up guys? My name's Tendo, but I'm most known as Tendo XI through my YouTube channel. My channel is Tendo XI, so go and check that out. And yeah, I just try to make entertaining videos for the Tekken community, for a lot of people in general, just to laugh, mainly troll.
I'm Genc Osman, you can call me Oz. I'm 28 years old. My channel name is same, Genc Osman, and my Twitter name is @GencOsman9088.
Okay, so these guys had a bunch of different ideas from the last guys that had their own ideas. They came up with different subjects, and now we're going to go ahead and discuss them because this is what we have thought of as the Tekken community. So we're not necessarily pro players, we are just people that play the game and that love Tekken. So these are the things that are on our minds. That's what Tekken Community Podcast is about. And the first subject that you guys came up with the other day was Tekken's game mechanics. And I believe it was Yuna who came up with the subject of Oki. Would you briefly explain the concept of Oki?
Well, like in similar old Tekkens like Tag 2, for example, Oki is kind of a thing where if you get a knockdown, you can do a certain type of move that will either pick them up off the ground or hit them on the ground, depending on what they decide to do on the ground. But in Tekken 7, it seems that that's kind of gone. You can get up off the ground pretty safely now, and you can't get like re-comboed off the ground now. So that's why I was talking about like the removal of Oki, because it seems like it's going to play a pretty big part in Tekken now, since a lot of people's games revolve around such a thing.
Yeah, I mean, Tekken 7 looks like it's going to reinforce the idea of juggling as they've made a new combo system. You know, I think juggling is going to be used a bit more, and as juggling is going to be used a bit more, they're going to have to make sacrifices. But I guess if they had kept Oki, it would be like abused a lot in like Tekken 7 gameplay, specifically online. It depends on how the opponent decides to use it or how the person decides to get up off the ground.
I think it's a pretty good change, because it seems that in Tekken 7 now, a lot of characters can get combos off of almost anything now. And it seems that combos are even more heavy than they were in a game that had 2 people. So I think the removal of Oki is a smart move.
So do we kind of think it's more of a good thing or a bad thing that Oki is kind of gone?
I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's a good thing, because people be getting juggled out of like literally nowhere if it continued to stay in Tekken, and it might be considered a problem.
Yeah, my experience with Okizeme, with playing Eddie Gordo specifically, it has a lot to do with the way that I like to play. Not necessarily that it's the only way that I like to play, but I like to, you know, do mind games when I'm playing with Eddie Gordo. I mean, even though he's not confirmed to be in Tekken 7 yet, I'm just keeping my fingers crossed. Basically, you know, I like to keep people on the ground, like to, you know, swipe at their toes a lot, make sure that, you know, I am at least keeping them thinking. Okizeme for Eddie means as soon as they get up, he's ready to start you in a totally new combo now, and I can basically just start again with my routine. So with that being gone, or at least pacified to some degree,
Oh, okay.
I feel like it might be harder for a player like me to get used to that whole new system, but I think in that same regard, I won't get hit by so many things that get on my nerves in Tekken Tag Tournament 2 by other players.
Yeah.
So I think, based on my experience with Tekken in general, I think I'm happy that it's been pacified to the degree that it has, because at least I can learn to play another way and not get hit by all that BS from before.
Their like solution for it to be removed is that characters can now end their combos with a certain move. Like Dragunov can end his combos with his running 2, and it puts them in standing and gives him like ton of frame advantage. So it's kind of like getting knocked down and getting comboed is still a bad thing, but at least now you have a chance to like guess a 50-50 and and defend yourself instead of just, oh, I want to get up off the ground. Oh no, I'm getting comboed again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, wasn't it always based on 50-50s?
It is true, but like in the old Tekkens, like the 50-50 was kind of just like, okay, I'm either gonna get hit on the ground or get relaunched. But now it's kind of like I can actually defend myself. You know what I mean? It's just not. I can't just sit here and take this damage for free on the ground.
I see. Well, it's a very unique tool for new players to kind of mess around with, because at least now they won't have to worry so much about getting up off the ground. They can just do it and just continue the match like normal. Because in Tekken Tag Tournament 2, a lot of players' complaints, at least my friends anyway, they would be like, "Why won't you let me get off of the ground?"
Honestly, but yeah, a lot of people did abuse that in Tag 2. I mean, a lot of Jin and Jun players. I know Jin's back to 1. It would, if a person's trying to get off the ground, it will be an Okizeme, and it will manage to bound the person off the ground. So it will be pretty dangerous to be facing Jin and getting up unsafely. And I know Jun's one does that, but I'm not sure what the specific input is because I'm not really a Jun player. But I know a couple of people that play Jun.
Me neither.
I hate Jun and Asuka.
Yeah.
They're so annoying, man.
Oh man.
Right on.
Look,
We're all in the same boat.
look at me! I can juggle, man. Oh, look at me! I'm a simpleton.
I can do this combo from Tekken 2, but it never stops because this is Tekken Tag Tournament 2, and I have 2 characters that can do it.
Look at me! I'm Jun. I'm so pretty. I can juggle. Yeah, man.
The Kazamas in particular, like they have a lot of ways to pick you up off the ground just for you trying to get up. They have a lot of ways to mix it up. So.
And they're spamming
characters like them, it's a good reason to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Speaking of tools, they just added the new Rage Art. Well, they didn't just, because we've been talking about Tekken 7 for forever and a day. But anyway, Rage Arts are completely new to Tekken compared to other Tekken games. What are you guys' opinions on Rage Arts?
I personally think like Rage Arts, they're pretty cool. But one thing is, it does sacrifice rage. I mean, wait, does Tekken 7 still have rage damage, or was that patched?
No, it's still there.
It's just different.
Rage arts are a pretty good thing. I know they take up a decent amount of health, and rage is there for a limited amount of time. But I guess saying that, the only problem is that the fact that once you use it, and even if you mess up using it, like press it accidentally, that removes your rage, even if the opponent decides to block it. So you won't have the advantage you would have if you're normally on rage, whereas your hits are stronger and it'll take a longer amount of time to kill you. But at the same time, rage arts are still pretty cool.
Same problem on Soul Calibur, I think.
What about Soul Calibur?
I mean, the rage arts.
Yeah, Soul Calibur had the...
They're called critical edges.
Critical edges.
Oh yeah, those.
Right.
Oh,
but
yeah.
the difference between that and the Tekken 7 rage arts is then the Tekken 7 rage arts, they like absorb, like I think it's 1 or 2 hits. So it adds a lot of depth to the game. Like if someone likes to do a lot of strings, you could like maybe try the rage art in between the string and absorb the last hit of the string and then kill them for it. So I think stuff like that is going to be really interesting.
Yeah, power crush, man. I think. Yeah.
You have 3 different tools with Rage. You have the normal thing where when you turn red, you can do more damage just by doing regular hits, or you can sacrifice your rage meter for your rage art, which will, just do some beautiful move that people can basically see coming, but you have to do it at the right time. Or you can use that new mechanic which turns you blue and give you extensions on your moves. I forget what that's called.
Wait, they are blockable, right?
Yeah, they're blockable.
Yeah, I mean, I guess then the right thing to do, and I've seen this a lot, is to get your opponent, I know it's going to be hard, but try to get your opponent into a juggle and then use it mid-air. And it's going to work for some characters, not all of them, but some. Because if they're blockable, then a lot of players are going to see it coming, block mid or block low. I know Jin is easily going to parry a lot of rage arts, so try and use it in a juggle. That's like my best.
What's with Giga's rage arts? I see his rage arts, he walks forward and just punch him in the face. That means you can just block it?
He's a savage. He's just a savage, man.
That's all he needs to do, just walk up to a guy and bash him in the face.
I was waiting for that, since I saw Street Fighter and Soul Calibur, similar rage arts, or Ultra Combo. I don't even play the games. Last time I played Soul Calibur was 2 years ago, I don't know. I think Harada now really noticed that I think it was missing in Tekken because we all want to make an epic KO, you know? I mean, for a casual gamer, if you play the game and you see so much in that competitive way, people actually think, oh man, I'm not good enough. Maybe I could do some fatality in Mortal Kombat or some kind of that. And I think that thing is actually really good. For me, myself, if you ask me, I love if the camera took the cinematic angle and then finish him like Dragunov's Rage Art. From that, what I can see, they do a really good job.
That's true. But with Mortal Kombat, I think it works best for brutalities and not fatalities, because with fatalities, you actually need to beat your opponent to carry it out. But with brutalities, you can just, it's kind of like a normal grab in Tekken. You can just do it anyhow.
Yeah, I agree. They're kind of extra and they're kind of new to Tekken, the rage arts themselves, because you know Tekken's never really had any finishing moves, and before Tekken Revolution, we never had any projectile attacks. So we've gotten a lot more now that they have Eliza. And they were testing that out, and I was thinking, well, they're probably putting that in the game to test out Tekken Cross Street Fighter mechanics.
Absolutely.
But it turns out they were testing out Akuma before making Akuma, and to see if it was going to be fair, and it turns out that it was. It didn't completely break the game, and then all of a sudden, hey, Akuma's now in Tekken. I'm still surprised by this, so I think that's pretty cool. But with Rage Arts comes a sacrifice of losing another mechanic, which is tag assaults from Tekken Tag Tournament 2.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about that?
Well, just the new combo system in general was put there to compensate for the loss of all the things you could do in tag, but you can't do in solo.
Yeah, I personally like the new combo system. I think it's a lot more flashier, and it gives characters a lot. They get more used to a lot of their moves. Like Jin can now use his down forward 1-4 in combos, and he can get a full combo off his counter hit standing 4, which is amazing. So I really like that a lot of these characters now have more moves to use in combos, and it makes the game more flashy looking, and for like a casual crowd, it's more fun to watch. Whereas Tag Assault, it's just like, oh, I bound, and then this guy comes out of nowhere and does like a 2-hit move just to make the combo a little longer lasting. It didn't really change the combo system. It just kind of added to it. But this new combo system is like just brand new, and I love it.
Here's the thing, it's bound is gone in a sense, because you can't use the same moves like you did in Tekken Tag Tournament 2 to bound and then the guy sliding on his back and then you can continue the combo, whereas like it takes bound away from the moves that you know are going to normally do that, but now it gives that property to other moves that normally wouldn't do that. They go into what's called a tailspin. It kind of works the same as bound, but they go much further away and gives you more time to kind of get creative with your move rather than just the same old you've been playing with in Tag 2. And I think that's unique, and I think it's something that we needed after all of this, you know, bound and tag assault that people just abused in Tag 2, because it's so easy to just get big combos and people to just go through their routines. And people are going to do this anyway because it's a video game, but at least now it's different and we have something different to work with, I think.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see the combo videos for that game.
Oh yeah, because everybody's going to be dropping through like several floors to make, you know, maximum death combos.
Oh, wait, didn't the main man make one? Oh yeah, he did. Yeah. With the Mishimas and Jin.
Yeah.
On Tekken 7.
Yeah, he made one for Tekken 7 when he went to Japan.
Yeah, but I guess it's like, it's not the same. I mean, you know, when I watch a combo video, I really want to like, you know, try them out while watching the video and trying it out. It's like, oh, well, I can do this. I'm a pro. But like, if I just see a combo video and like for Tekken 7 mainly, and I see it, but I know that I'm gonna wait like 50 years just to land this on my PS4. Sweet.
So someone brought up earlier that the stories in Tekken used to be a lot better, but are not so interesting now. Who said that?
I said Tekken story seems like it doesn't really have a direction now. The story in general, like the last few Tekken games, the story has kind of been exactly the same. It's just insert powerful being here and then add the Mishimas in. And then that's it.
Yeah.
Just fight over the same thing, and then, oh, there's this dragon that looks like that dude from Dark Souls. Let's put him in the game. And then I'm just like, no, I don't get behind it. I just think it's stupid. And then you have characters dying and coming back and dying and coming back, and
Yeah.
Yeah, originally it was about like a tournament, but now it's
Yeah.
just kind of like it's gotten out of hand. It's just otherworldly stuff, and you got like organizations, and I don't think it has no direction.
Okay, you wanted to say something, Oz?
The intro from Tekken 5 comparing to Tekken 7 is much more different. We saw Feng Wei training in the temple and do some stuff and beat his master, and then we saw Ho-Rang fighting against Steve. I didn't saw this thing in the new trailer, you know. We saw Kazuya, we saw Heihachi, and this woman who loves Heihachi, or I don't know. I mean, where's the fight scenes between Ho-Rang, Steve, Law? I didn't saw that at all.
Well, you see, they're trying to get all dramatic now with the whole, Mishimas are fighting.
Yeah.
This is the end of it all. What is going to happen? We don't know. But now, here's an epic transformation. And then the Tekken 7 logo.
Yeah, but the problem is, if you don't play the Mishimas and Kazamas at all, you think, where's Lucky Chloe? Where's Shaheen? We didn't know where the roots or storyline. We don't know. I was researching before that podcast about Lucky Chloe because I had worries about she's maybe a pupil of Eddie or something, because that actually could
Makes sense.
why Eddie is not there. Actually, I thought nothing.
That was the problem with Tekken 6.
Yeah.
Was you had Bob and Miguel, who were these totally new characters, but they had nothing behind them. Like Bob was just some fat superhero character, and Miguel was just pissed at Jin. That's
What?
it.
I thought he was a cop.
Yeah. No, he was in the Resistance army with Harang and Bake back in the Scenario campaign.
Yeah, but I saw him eating a donut.
You can take stuff from Scenario Campaign, but not all of it is canon, because if you play Scenario Campaign as anyone other than Lars, it's kind of just like a made-up story.
However, the dialogue between characters matters. For example, if you play through with Yoshimitsu, and then you go and fight Heihachi. No, I'm sorry. If you play with Heihachi, and then you go to the part where you fight against Yoshimitsu, he's like, what are you doing here? Where's all my money? That money's been spent on the people who need it.
Yeah.
And then they fight over the fact that there's no money because they were fighting over something from Tekken 5 or 4 or whatever. But it shows you what would happen in that situation if it did happen. This is what they would fight over if they actually were in this situation. So even though they don't happen, it still matters because it gives us insight into what the characters are like. It might open up some answers to different questions people might have. I mean, I looked through hours of that footage. Somebody uploaded all of the dialogue options with every character on every stage. A lot of the conversations are just generic, but you might find a couple of gems in there that might answer one or two questions you might have about why did this person do this in some trailer or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you make a good point, man.
I think it's quite difficult to hold a good storyline in each character to give a reason why certain characters still fighting in every Tekken. I could understand that, it's okay, but I'm a Tekken fan and I have the feeling that some characters okay, Lei Long probably be in Tekken 7.
He
I
might,
guess.
actually.
I'm guessing, okay. But I liked especially Marduk and King was my tag team, and now Marduk is a monster. Yeah.
Tekken, what they've done is they don't take many characters seriously anymore. I mean, look at Paul. Paul used to be Kazuya's legit rival. Look at him now; he's a joke. He's just
America.
People used to look at Paul back in the day. It was like, wow, look at that guy, man. That was the guy, the American super fighter with the ugly shape up. Yeah, that guy was my main. I liked him. But
and now he's like, oh my god, I'm preparing for an alien invasion and all that stuff.
Exactly. People are just going to look at him and be like, yo, what happened to him?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What do you think when you watch the intro of Tekken 4 and compare it to Tekken 7 now? I mean, most of the time...
That one.
Kazuya is running around fighting soldiers and whatnot.
Kazuya missed Tekken 3 and now people maybe get a little bit bored because we see too much and we want a new Tekken, not Kazuya and Heihachi again.
Yeah, I feel you.
I have another question. In the end cutscene of, I think it was Raven in Tekken 6, when he was in the desert and he saw, was it Jin?
Yeah, it was Jin.
Okay.
In the sun.
I actually didn't know it until now you said it to me. I thought they have project or something like clone Jin or more Jins or something like that, but I was false. It's okay.
That's an interesting theory.
I mean, maybe Raven was just like he took him to Dr. B, and Dr. B was just like, we can rebuild him, and then that's how he's in Tekken 7.
they pulled a Kazuya.
Hey, we got this dead guy. Can you make him into a robot Jin? Yeah, sure, why not?
That means if Raven found Jin's body, did that means Raven works with Jin together?
No.
I mean, he's in a desert. How could you escape from a desert?
In Tekken 6, Raven is portrayed as working alone. Yeah. He only works with someone if it's mutually beneficial, but still, he's still on his own side. I don't think he would, in his own nature, work willingly with someone unless it was mutually beneficial. And for the sole purpose of Jin trying to wage war on the entire world, I don't think he would actually work with him.
Yeah.
Namco are never gonna let go of Jin. They will never do it. Yeah. He's just too...
I think that too.
I think it's because of the sales of Tekken 3. That was so impactful. They said, hey, you know what, we're going to keep this guy. We're going to get rid of some old people. And he's the guy that's bringing in the stacks of money, if you know what I mean.
I found him more charismatic when he was a good guy in Tekken 3, because he wasn't that Mishima gene to make all Mishima fighters like devil and destroy everything. In Tekken 3, I think Jin just want to revenge.
Yeah, he just wanted revenge, nothing else.
He actually was a good guy. And after I saw the cutscene from Jin where he was taken the Mishima Zaibatsu, I hope he got not that evil, you know, how we say it?
Corruption.
Yes, exactly. But now I think it's the case that he's evil too. I mean...
Heihachi shot him in the head.
Yeah.
After defeating Ogre. So that would piss anybody off. So after being shot immediately, he turns into his devil form. He grabs Heihachi by the top of his bald head and throws him through the wall and then flies off.
I actually thought he wanted to rescue him.
I think that's what makes Jin's character so interesting, though, is because if his Tekken Blood Vengeance role is kind of like a good showing of what his character really is. He has good intentions, but he also knows that he is part of this bloodline, so he's evil like this because he wants someone to stop him and to kill him, as he's going to kill Heihachi and Kazuya. So he's like wanting someone to stop him to basically erase the Mishima bloodline from the world. So I think he's kind of a good guy. He just does it in a way that doesn't come off as a good guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, everybody thinks they're good on some level. I mean, we learn in different media, like TV shows, movies, anime, what have you, comics. Everyone has their own reasons for doing everything. It's not like they're just, you know, the staple, hey, I'm a bad guy and I do bad things to destroy the world for no reason. You know, they have their own reasons for doing everything, even if they're the wrong reasons. But the fact is, if you were that character and you were in that same situation, you have to think, would you have this exact same kind of thinking? And the answer is probably yes, because look at what they went through. They still inevitably ended up making the wrong kind of decisions, but evil characters always think they're doing good because, you know, they've been through something. They think of the best way that they know how to get something done, and then they just do it. That's why you have characters that are good, characters that are neutral, characters that are chaotic, you know, that whole alignment thing where it's like chaotic evil or neutral good or lawful whatever. You know, it's everybody's really, really complex. So evil characters, no matter what they are, and I think pretty much all of the Mishima characters are pretty much the worst people in the world. And none of them like each other and everything. I think they all justify their own actions in their own way, but there is no good or bad, I think, in my opinion, because they're all fighting against one another. You know, Jin's fighting Kazuya, Kazuya's fighting back, he's fighting Heihachi, Heihachi's fighting all of them, and then Jinpachi, and now we've got Kazumi. Everyone is fighting everyone. How can you root for anybody other than your own character? Yeah.
If you look at the Tekken universe, it doesn't seem like there is a good side. I mean, look at Tag 2's intro. You have like a giant monster with snake arms and an angel fighting in an arena, and people are just going ballistic about it. Like,
what about Lars? I think he was the good one.
He was a good guy, but, you know, then again, it's Lars. You know,
it's Lars. He's a spammer.
First of all, you take Lars all the way to Heihachi's estate to kill Heihachi with a gun. And that's it. That was his plan.
He wanted to kill Heihachi, with the gun. He said he'd deal with Kazuya later. He defeated Jin, but he didn't kill him because, you know, he wants to tell himself that, you know, I'm this good guy. I shouldn't be doing stuff like this. But I guess he is. I guess, yeah, you're right. He is kind of a good guy. I mean, look at him in the scenario campaigns. He had good intentions. He wanted to take Jin down from the inside, not starting a massive war. You know, if he did it subtly, then more people's lives will be preserved. If he started,
in my opinion, it must be a good side to people see a interesting story. I mean, if everyone is something of neutral, midway story, I don't know. It could be done maybe too complex or too simple. It's my case. I mean, I see that in that way. I need a good guy.
Tekken is really both.
Yeah.
Tekken's.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about Lars. Lars to me just kind of seems like the crybaby lost family member that wants to be noted by the Mishimas, and they don't give a shit about him. So,
hey, I can do electrics too, guys.
In some part of the story, Lars met Kazuya, and Kazuya noticed his electric fist and say, "Oh, you have Mishima blood in you." And I say, yeah, and I'm the good guy. I'm doing good things and you're doing crap. I'm here to fix it, you know?
I love the way you said that just now. Well, there has to be a lot more in Tekken to offer us something to keep us interested. That brings us to the next topic. Features in Tekken, in terms of trying to find something for everyone to kind of latch on to, because people play Tekken for different reasons. You know, for us, it might be the story. For other guys, it might just be the competition. For some people, it might be a little bit of both. So for some people, it might be a little bit of everything. But there's always something for everybody to kind of latch onto and say, this is the reason I play Tekken. And one of the things we brought up earlier was the character customization. Now, it's changed over the course of the last few years since Tekken 6, or Tekken 5, I should say, and they had a lot of customization in Tekken Tag Tournament 2, but it's changed so much. Do you think it's just fine? Do you think it needs to be improved? Or do you even like character customization? Do you think we need to create an entirely new character? What do you guys think?
If you ask me, I'm glad that they tried this aspect of customization. I once shared my customization in Twitter. If a game has an editor or something like that, you can count on me that I definitely spend hours just to try different things out. Like, not only the color, I mean, that symbol editor was great. I love that. I think I also saw funny items on the head. I don't know how you call it on English. It
was a shower head.
Yeah, something like that. But I enjoy it every time. But maybe they should do more items. Like, did put an example on Twitter. Posted to Harada, but he answered. Of course, he didn't answer at all. he most likely likes female cosplayers, which I can say. I mean, it's the boobs, obviously. I mean, he's like, okay, you don't answer me at all. I mean, it's just an idea. When you are, for example, okay, not very much people play so long to reach Tekken God. It's okay. But when you are reaching Grandmaster or Master or Emperor, you can maybe put different items where you say, okay, now I'm motivated, you know?
Yeah, the way they've done it before, basically just by playing the game and earning all of that currency after you've gone over a certain amount, I suppose, or playing enough games, you would open these crates at the end of the game, and it would give you a random item for, I guess, a random character. Or sometimes it might even be like a cutscene that maybe you hadn't had unlocked yet.
Oh yeah, they did that in Tekken 6.
You could do that through Ghost Battle and actually playing online. It wasn't directly connected to how high you got your rank. It was just connected to how well you were playing, if you were winning or losing. You know, you could pick up those items and wouldn't have to purchase them.
Well, in Tag 2, they had ranked rewards, but they were really small. The little tag panels that you can put behind your characters, like when their intro shows up. I got all the way to Fusion, and when I got the Fusion, I got like 3 panels I'd never seen before, and I've been playing the game for like 3 years.
Fusion online? No, Fusion, seriously? Oh my god.
I'm not Fusion anymore, but I got to it.
Oh, wait, what you know?
I'm a Bayako right now.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad, man. I'm struggling at Brawler, mate.
I'm still trying to get to, what is it, Warrior? Yeah, so I've just been stuck at Berserker all this time.
Wait, didn't you get to Warrior? I think it was with Eddie.
No, I haven't.
Oh.
No, I'm still stuck at Berserker. I was about to get a promotion to Warrior, but I lost that match and I just never got it again.
If you think your opponent's going to do something, just quickly jab them. That usually works for me.
Yeah, I usually get tagged in my face while I'm trying to do something, so it might work for me. Yeah. As far as character customization goes, I mean, really all I want is for them to not be so restrictive with their customization choices. I mean, some characters can't even wear certain items of clothing. For example, Kunimitsu can't put on glasses anymore anyway. You could do it through a glitch, but obviously you can't put on glasses because you're not allowed to see your face, but it would be nice to just go ahead and do that anyway.
Devil Jin can't have any outfit he wears, like, it connects to his gloves and you can't change the color of his gloves or anything like that, and it's pretty annoying.
Exactly, and other characters just don't even have certain choices for certain clothes, and you're like, you know, this character wears this particular item of clothing. I would love it if I could put it on this character. I mean, obviously, I know you don't want to put, like, you know, character-specific clothes on other characters, although you can do that now with, you know, with some of the ways I've been editing my characters. I have Christy to look like Nina, and I have Law to look like Steve, which is always fun to do to confuse people. I did that in Tekken 6 as well. You know, some people are extremely talented with the customization thing, and you have to do most of it through decals, because some of the clothes you can't even make certain colors with because they're skin toned. So it removes skin tone from your choices on the color meter, and you can't get around the fact that you can't make skin tone. You have to do like off yellow or off orange or off red to even get it remotely close. So then what you have to do is you have to choose the hero clothes and then cover that in like a giant square, and then make that the skin tone, and then that's your costume. But there's only so many times, or there's only so many characters you can make look like a superhero before you get tired. I mean, you can make a Dragon Ball Z character, you can make Wolverine, Batman, Superman, Static Shock, all of these characters, but we need more freedom.
Yeah, true. Yeah, the customization scene is like so restricted, and sometimes in some cases it's like restricted to nationalities as well. I mean, I know with Law, right, you can make him wear some Chinese armor thing. I was like, oh, that's really cool, but you can't do the same with, like, say, a Japanese character, like, I don't know, Kazuya. Instead, they've got some samurai thing, and it just doesn't look the same. Like, even Bake or Hwarang, they put like no research into them because they're Korean, so they just gave them like Chinese armor. But still, if they could give the Tekken characters a wider variety of customization options. I know Lars in Tekken 6 had much more to customize with than he actually does in Tag 2.
I hope so, man. I hope so.
Yeah.
I think if they put more effort in customization, less people will be asking Harada to make his own character, you know? I mean, as far customization works, you don't need own character, because you can customize everything, you know? I hope they have good customization, but I didn't watch so many Tekken 7 clips.
I'm just hoping there aren't any articles of clothing that cannot be edited at all. Because that's a problem with a lot of the clothes in Tekken Tag Tournament 2, is some of them colors just can't be turned off or even interacted with at all.
Yeah.
Whereas in a game like Soul Calibur 5, pretty much all of the articles of clothing can be changed, and it was very particular about that. So I think if they combine some of their greatest, you know, features in their customizations, they can actually make a great product, especially with Tekken 6. Tekken 6, you could actually change their natural hair color.
In Soul Calibur 5, you could actually change, like, what the regular characters in the game, you could totally change what they look like. You could change their hair and all that stuff, their hair color, give them all these fancy little outfits, and it had piece by piece. It wasn't just like, oh, here's pants with shoes. It was just pants, shoes, like waist, back. And I just really liked overall Soul Calibur 5's character customization, because it had the sticker thing, so it kind of had decals where you could like add stickers. You could give characters like your own tattoos and stuff, and I just really think that's what Tekken 7 should go with, instead of just like, oh look, let's make Claudio gold. Yeah, guys.
What fighting games besides Tekken do you think will have a good chance in the market, and why? What's doing good right now?
Soul Calibur.
Mortal Kombat X and Street Fighter 5 so far.
I think that Soul Calibur would do great if they actually made Soul Calibur 6, because the fans of Soul Calibur have been waiting for years now for that game, and there is absolutely zero news on it. So when that happens, if that does happen, when that game drops, I think it's going to sell well, because it's like, oh my god, we've been waiting forever.
I don't know any other fighting game where you can use weapons.
Do games like, I don't know, like anime-based games count as fighting games? Because a lot of them are doing really good in the market right now.
Yeah, they're really popular in Japan. And, there's some that, make their way over here and they still do good. There are some of the ones that are just, 2D or kind of a mixture between the two. Skullgirls, for example. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is still going strong.
Persona 4 Arena and, BlazBlue did pretty well.
I know Naruto Shippuden.
Yeah, a lot of those anime-based ones are definitely considered fighters just because, they're fighters. I mean, it doesn't matter the style. What matters is, do the mechanics fit the criteria for what you need for a fighting game to be a fighting game? And they bring them to tournaments. People win championships and bragging rights, just like every other game. So there you go.
I think an underrated fighting game, too, is Dead or Alive, because a lot of people just look at that game and think, oh, boobs and all this, but that game is actually, to its core, it's a pretty good fighting game, and the system works well. And the Team Ninja, the developers, they really support the competitive scene. Like, if you get on that game right now, it would be like, oh, this is happening in this month. Like, go to this tournament. And they announce the winners on the game itself. Like, you can see it just scrolling at the bottom, like, so-and-so won, blah, 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 2014. Like, it's pretty freaking cool. Like, more fighting games need to do that.
Yeah, Dead or Alive is pretty cool. Also, Smash.
Oh, Super Smash.
Smash is always going strong.
Now, Smash is a crossover, though. So, a lot of people... it targets a lot of people from, a multitude of different, communities. So, because it's a crossover, you might see, I don't know, oh, I really like Sonic the Hedgehog, so I'm going to get Smash just to abuse him. Oh, I don't know, Street Fighter, so I'm going to buy Smash, play as Ryu, and abuse him. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Because it targets so many, people from different communities. I don't know, Mario, Street Fighter, Sonic, Legend of Zelda. Because all of those things are combined into one game, the sales are obviously going to be huge. That's why it's the #1 best-selling fighting game of all time, because it's a crossover.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Street Fighter Cross Tekken, where it's not canon to the games that they're based on, but it is its own unique story that does tell a proper story. But it does have its own thing, but it's not canon to all of those other games.
Where you pay as Cloud from Final Fantasy?
Yeah. Well,
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just put him in based on votes from the community.
Smash may potentially have a better story than Tekken 6, but you never know. Maybe so.
I bet you can already guess what character I sent to Nintendo to say, hey, put this character in the game.
I don't know, Orp. Eddie Gordo, Marshall Law.
Yeah, I was like, hey, Nintendo, put Eddie Gordo in the game because it'll bring attention to the Tekken community or whatever. But I think if they were going to put any Tekken character in Smash, they would probably put Jin or Heihachi, something boring like that.
Heihachi was in PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale too.
Exactly, so they might just throw him in there too.
You know what would be a good idea? If Tekken 8 probably would came out, if I would be Harada, I would say, okay, every storyline is over. Now, most of the popular fighter like Eddie, Kazuya, have their own school or dojo or something like that because they are too old. And you can create your own character, put the moveset on the original character, and if you, I don't know, reach a specific goal, you can unlock the old character.
That sounds overly complicated.
Yeah, but I can see good.
I can see that happening though. That's a good idea. But everyone's gonna abuse specific characters. For example, Jin, Kazama's, Mishima's. I can see Orp starting his little community I'm join the capos, man. Join the laws, man.
Back one.
I wouldn't do all that, but yeah, I would probably stand against the people who play the Mishimas and Kazamas specifically. Like if they start doing the what do you call it? The WTF?
World
Oh yeah.
Tekken Federation.
Yeah.
I forget what it stood for because I can only think of one abbreviation for WTF. But anyway, World Tekken Federation was, the place where you could create clans. Then you could say, okay, this is, what we play, and you can only play with these characters. There was a group that I joined that could only use Chinese characters, but then not everybody was happy with that, so you could use one Chinese character and then another character, which worked for me because I could play Law and Eddie in the clan. And then I left the clan after because, well, they weren't doing. Yeah, if you could have this World Tekken Federation type website again, and you could have some special markings on your characters or whatever, maybe like a badge, or have something on your profile that says, okay, you're a part of this clan or you're a part of this group. It'll say, hey, we hate this character and this is the group that we're in. Join with all of us and we'll fight against all of them. And I would probably have something like that where it's just people fighting against Mishima and Kazama characters.
Oh wow.
And that would be my group.
Yeah, I think that World Tekken Federation was such a great idea, and the fact that they took it down was just a lot of the community just stopped playing the game because they felt like they weren't fighting for anything anymore.
Yeah, it made Tekken like more of an enjoyable online game because you could join so many different clans and just overall just have fun with the game. I mean, I still have fun with the game online, don't get me wrong, but it was just more fun with those specific with the World Tekken Federation,
Yeah, I definitely want it back. I mean, even though you can't track all of the things that you used to be able to track, I mean, you can still do certain things on the actual game, but there's a lot you can't do on the game anymore, like put up a special flag and have your team's special symbol on the flag. That used to be a nice feature, and the names don't pop up on the screen before the fights. I mean, I missed that feature.
Yeah, you can't even download people's replays now because the website's down.
Yeah, I still have a replay downloaded from 3 years ago. Of somebody playing Eddie versus two different sets of laws, and they had on really interesting costumes that looked like they were pretty difficult to create, but it was a really high level match, and I still watch it to this day, but it's the only one I ever downloaded.
I played with the World Tekken Federation for a week and then they shut it down. I think I got the game too late, but oh well, never mind.
Wow.
I think fighting games especially seems to have more popular in the Asia country as in the West, or at least they think so. But I think we're going a good way. I mean, I hate Lucky Chloe from the beginning. I saw her. But they reach more people, It is what it is.
Wait, are you going to use Lucky Chloe?
Go to hell.
I am going to use it.
What if they say Lucky is Eddie's pupil or something like that?
No.
Oh man.
This is not going to happen. F*** you guys. That is not how it's going to be.
Well, guess what? You cannot kill an idea that may be possible.
Damn.
So anyway, if you guys could ask Harada a question or just give him a personal idea, real quick, if he was listening to this, what would you want Harada to know if you could just, with no boundaries, tell him or ask him anything you wanted to?
I will say, why you don't retweet my animation? I spent 6 months for that shit. He just liked it. Oh man, I spent six months of this animation. Why? At least you could retweet it. No, he retweets a cosplay where he just put a selfie on it.
Okay, well, obviously, yeah. First, I would say, hurry up with Tekken 7. But in all seriousness, I would. I was talking about this with my bros the other day. I think it would be a good idea to do the entire Tekken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Any other upcoming Tekken games, once they're out, just redo them with the same HD crisp graphics and put them in a box set. I think it might be an interesting idea. It might be quite cool to see the cutscenes, the ending movies redone. Would be quite cool. So yeah, that's what I do.
Interesting idea. Okay, Yuna?
I would say
I would tell him to nerf Mishima's electrics because that crap tracks so much and I hate it.
Well, we all do. It's just the bane of all our existence. So painful.
That that move is just they say it's steppable, right? I step that stuff so much and it still hits me and I hate it. Like, and I'm playing as I'm playing as Lily. I have supposedly the best sidestep in the game, so why can't I step a steppable move? Come on.
Okay,
man.
well, this is what I would tell Harada. Just put Eddie in the game. That's it. That's all
Yes.
I want.
Oh my god.
I don't care what you do with the rest of Tekken. Just do that, and I will be happy.
You know, so many people online are gonna hate you just for that. Just for that, Up.
Oh, they already do. They already do. I'm used to it. I'm an internet personality. I mean, I have to deal with this daily. I think I just got an update on my phone about somebody saying "F Eddie" just now.
Well, I mean, I respect you, man. You're inspiration, and I don't have any problem with you at all.
Me too.
It's just
Okay.
Eddie and Christy and Tiger. The fact that there's 3 of them, you wouldn't even make a third copy of Law. You wouldn't even. You put 3 Mishimas, you put 2 Kazamas, you put 2 Laws. But
Yeah.
Guess what? You put 2 couples, not 1.
No,
Not 2.
Tiger-
3. You put
Tiger-
3.
The only reason there's 3 is because the tiger is, just a different costume for Eddie, but then they made it its own character because they thought it might be a little, well, not generic, but kind of maybe stereotypical. So then they went with the Brazilian design, and then they said, hey, let's just put it in the game as a secret, and then, they, in Tekken 3 as a secret, and then they just made it its own thing. That's why you can't customize it at all in Tekken Tag Tournament 2.
But Tiger is he's just there. He's not even part of the story. He's not even.
Tiger
part
is
of
not even a
anything.
good character either. Like he's missing back on 4, which is the greatest move ever invented.
Mate, I think you're missing a very important move. Very important move. And it offends me that you've forgotten this move. I'm joking. It's down back 4 with martial law. Best move in the game. Best move in the game.
Tail.
Dragon Tales. Fun for
Dragon Tail. Let's all go to Dragon. I don't know the actual song. Okay, so this is a good place to stop because we're acting like fools. And this is the time for you guys to shout out your channels. We'll start with Yuna, then Tendo, then Genc.
I'm the last
Well,
one.
I'm at Twitter. I'm Tekken Yuna. I have a YouTube. It's called LX Yuna. It's not really anything going on it, but if you want to see year-old gameplay of Tekken from me, then there you go. And that's about it. I don't really have. You can find me on Facebook at Yuna Chan, but that's about it. I don't really have much social media.
Yeah, subscribe to my channel Tendo XI. Yo, check out my Twitter Tendo XI. Yeah, do everything Tendo XI. Live a Tendo XI life, and yeah, just if you want to see some entertaining videos, if you want to see some trolling videos, if you want to see an entire video on why Tekken is Illuminati, please check out my channel. You're gonna enjoy it so much.
I just have one thing. Search in YouTube Tekken Flash animation. That's all I can say. Then you see what I doing all the time.
You spent 6 months on this.
6 months. 1 second to draw was 1 hour to make it.
I am going to watch this when this is over. I am going to retweet it to Harada. He has to watch this. 6 months is a long time.
Yeah.
He has to.
Okay. Well, I thank you guys for coming on. So, guys, if you liked the video, leave a comment below. Tell me who you probably want to see on this show next. Maybe I can try to get you on if you're interested, because this is your show. This is Tekken Community Podcast. You are the Tekken Community. We are the Tekken Community. Hashtag we are Tekken. Hashtag buff capos. And remember that you cannot kill an idea. See you guys next time. Ow! Genc, I absolutely have to ask you this before we go. Can you say the phrase, "It's just a game. Why you have to be mad?"
Okay.
Go for it, Genc. Go for it, Genc.
Oh man. It's just a game. Why you have to be mad? It's okay. I don't know what's your problem, man.
You sound exactly like. I swear, if I find you on Twitter, I'm gonna send you the link.
We're going to show you that video
Yeah,
after this
send
is
me the
done.
link.